everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this lecture we are going to discuss the fundamental quantities and the derived quantities. The derived quantities are very important and it is generally asked in many competitive exams like SSC and other, and in the college also it is very useful. So generally students get confused between the fundamental quantities and the derived quantities. So we will not have to memorize the derived quantities, we just have to understand it. So in this video we will learn that how to understand the derived quantities and we don't need to memorize it. Okay, so first we will see the fundamental quantities. There are 7 fundamental quantities. First one is the length, second is the mass, third is the time, fourth is the temperature, fifth is the amount of substance, and sixth is the light intensity, and 7 is the electric current. So one by one we will see the symbols of it. They are denoted by, like length is denoted by L, mass is denoted by M, and time is denoted by capital T. Similarly, the temperature is denoted by theta, and the amount of substance is denoted by N, and the light intensity is denoted by J, electric current is denoted by I. So I will write the SI unit of it here. Length having a SI unit of meter, mass is having SI unit of kg, time is having SI unit of second, and temperature is having SI unit of a Kelvin. And in the same way, amount of substance has a unit of moles, and the light intensity has a unit of candela, and current is expressed in the ampere. So these are the 7 fundamental quantities that are very important in the derived quantities. So I have written one derived quantity here, which is a velocity. We all know that the velocity is equals to the distance upon time. So length we will take as L and time we have taken as T. So its formula become m0 L t minus 1. In the same way, if we take the acceleration, we know that what is acceleration? Acceleration is change in the velocity over a time. So what we have calculated for the velocity? We have calculated for the velocity is L t minus 1, m0 L t minus 1, and for time we are taking t. So its formula become m0 L t minus 2. Okay, so if we can establish the relationship and we know the formula of velocity and acceleration, we don't have to memorize this formula. We can calculate it by putting the values one by one. Okay, so next we will see the derived quantity of force. What is force? Force is equals to mass into acceleration. Acceleration value we have calculated here. So I will put mass is in kg, so its value is m, and acceleration value is m0 L t minus 2. So it will become ml t minus 2. Okay, so next we will see the fourth quantity, that is a work or a torque. What is it? It is equals to force into displacement. Okay, so what is the value of force here? We have calculated m L t minus 2, and distance we taken as a L, so it will become ml2 t minus 2. Now we will see the derived quantity for energy. What is the formula of energy? The formula of energy is half of mv square. M here is the mass, so I will write m here. And what is a v? V is the velocity, so square of the velocity. We have calculated the value of velocity here, so it will be m0 L t minus 1 to whole square. 2 is the numerical value, so it will not play a role in this derived quantity. Okay, so it will become m square, m0, 0 square is always 0, so it will become m L2 t minus 2. Okay, so it will be equals to the derived quantity of a work or a torque. Next we will see the important quantity, that is a pressure or a stress. It is same for the pressure or stress. Pressure or stress will be equals to the force upon area. We have calculated the derived quantity for the force here, so I will write here as a ml t minus 2, and for area formula is meter square, so we will write L square. So if I write the derived quantity here, it will be ml minus 1 T minus 2. Okay, so next we will see the seventh drive quantity for the surface tension. What is surface tension? Surface tension is equals to force upon length. So force value we have calculated above. We will write here mlt minus 2 and length is represented as L. So its formula becomes ml0 T minus 2. Okay. So next we will see the eighth quantity, that is power. So what is the unit of power? Power has a unit of watt. What is the unit? What is watt here? Watt is equals to joule per second. And what is joule? Joule is equals to Newton meter per second. Okay. So what is the Newton meter per second? Newton is the value of force. So we will write the force value here. We have calculated before. So this is the value for force mlt minus 2. ml T minus 2 into this meter. So meter is written in L per second, means T. So its formula becomes ml square T minus 3. Okay. So by this way and by using its formula, or we know its unit, we can calculate the drive quantities at any time. We don't have to memorize it. Next we will see the dynamic viscosity. Okay, so what is dynamic viscosity unit? It is Newton second per meter square. Newton represent the force, so I will write here the value of drive quantity of force, that is mlt minus 2. Second represent the time, which is t, and per meter square. Meter square is L square, so its formula becomes ml minus 1 T minus 1. Okay, so this is for the dynamic viscosity. Next we will see for the density. Its unit is kg per meter cube. Kg represent the mass and meter cube represent the length. So mass having m and per meter cube, so it will be ml minus 3, and t is not there, so it will be 0. So this is all about today's lecture. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you.